said that the government has put in place measures to ensure that those Kenyans who are in the affected areas are going to be moved to safer grounds. And earlier on, he gave a brief, and now let's listen in before we come back so that we can be able to get a graphical presentation of the areas that are going to get.
Given instructions this morning to our regional security team in northeastern and in parts of eastern and coast to begin moving people. As I speak to you, we have an operation in Tana River and an operation in Garissa. We are not waiting for people to be swept downstream. We are moving some people using public resources, moving some, and that level of alert will remain raised for the next week or two until we are satisfied that we are away from danger. Because you've heard my colleagues have said the waters in the dams have risen to unprecedented levels, and we can anticipate clearly that if we do not move the populations we have, we are going to have disaster. So I first of all want to appeal to the leaders and the people of Garissa and Tana River particularly. Government is doing what we must do, and please, for those who like all the time saying that it's not fair to push people out, we do not have an option. We are moving some people out by force. We have instructed the county commissioners and security teams in Garissa and in Tana River to move everyone on those ways away from there, even if it means putting them on lorries ourselves and getting them out of danger.
Yes, indeed, those were the Cabinet Secretary Interior, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, highlighting on the measures the government has put in place to ensure that Kenyans move safer grounds. And also move to the graphical presentation, the Cabinet Secretary Devolution, Eugene Wamala, said that now the government has put also measures to ensure that people who are affected, not necessarily food, also cash to buy, they will be able to be using, making priorities at that particular time. And now I'm joined by the Deputy Director, Kenya Meteorological Department, to give us an highlight of what we are expecting so for creating for us. Now, kindly about the areas which are going to be affected, presentation on the map.
Thank you very much. Have given a 5 days focused. For the next 5 days, we expect that the rains will be in much of the country. And as you can see from the map here, this is a map of Africa. Kenya is, you can see the red colors, around the Indian Ocean, somewhere in the central parts of the central parts of Africa. And these clouds, what they do to is that this system here is full of water, and so we expect that this system will continue coming into our country, and as it comes into our country, then we expect the heavy rains we have been seeing in the last few weeks continue in much of the country. Expect this to be heavier in the western parts of the country and the coastal areas of areas like Kiambu, Nyeri, Embu, including Nairobi. And therefore, by weekend, we expect the rains to be even in the western parts of the country, around the Lake Victoria region, with those areas experiencing about in 24 hours. And what that means in a nutshell is that we will likely see the flooding situation in those areas, and therefore Kenyans are urged to be on the lookout so that we may, prevent or minimize the seeing continue. And therefore, we expect the rain. However, maybe by next week, we might see a slight reduction of these rains. And therefore, that's what we are looking at for now.
Okay. Maybe we've seen recently the changes in the weather conditions. What are the causes of this weather change?
Well, the changes are just normal because the rains that we experience during this season from March to what we call the intertropical convergence zone. In a layman's language, it's just a band which is a convergence for the winds coming from the northern part of side of the equator and the southern part of the equator. Now, this intertropical convergence zone is concentrated in our region, the East African region, or what we call the equatorial region. And what that means is that the rainfall-bearing clouds are concentrated in that band. And therefore, for the 3 months, we have been experiencing rainfall in this region because of that. But at the same time, there are also other drivers of this. There's something called the Madden-Julian oscillation. This is a 30 to 60-day cycle to do with some winds in the upper levels. And they are responsible at times, the existing system. Yes. And so you see heavy rains because of the Madden-Julian oscillation combining with the intertropical convergence zone within our region. And that's why the heavy rains have actually impacted the East African region.
Thank you so much. That is Dr. Richard Mwita from the Kenya Meteorological Department, the Deputy Director. He has given us a highlight of what we expect. This and more will be coming on us, coming to you live from the Kenya Meteorological Department, Ngong Road. My name is Joash Onsare. To you, Linda Alela in the studio.
All right, thank you so much, Joash Onsari, right there, reporter on ground, a comprehensive report. So the ball's on your court, you need to stay woke. And now moving on, a middle-aged man has died after he fell into River Susiani in Eldoret town. The incident, the river in Tarbo area collapsed. The man, who was only identified by residents as Washira, fell into the flooding waters after the bridge collapsed from both ends while he was crossing. The bridge situated along River Susiani connects the 3 counties of Kakamega, Nandi and Uasin Gishu. Take a look.
Hii daraja ina connect county 3, Uasin Gishu, Kakamega na Nandi. Kuna wakulima ambao wanatoka pande wa Nandi wanaleta maziwa yao kuja pande ya Kakamega. So wamekuwa na wakati mgumu sana. Bidhaa zao inabidi wazunguke njia ndefu. Na hiyo njia kule mbele ni njia ambayo imeharibika. Kuna matope. Pikipiki zinakwama kwenye njia, magari yanakwama. Na wakati wanafika mahali wanapeleka maziwa, wanakuwa na changamoto kubwa kwa sababu unapata pale hiyo maziwa imeharibika.
Daraja imeporomoka, na baada ya kupata mporomoko wa daraja kuna msiba ambao umepatikana, sababu kuna kijana wa umri wa katikati ambao ni tegemeo kubwa sana kwa taifa.
Sasa ndio changamoto imefanya watu wengi hawana hiyo pesa. Sasa watu huwa wanaamua kuriski maisha yao na waweze kupita hapa kwa hii daraja hapa hivi. Wanaamua ni mbaya. Sasa wanakamua. Sasa ndio jana kuna kisa moja ambayo ilitokea ya mmoja anaitwa Washira, alijaribu kuvuka hapa ngambo kama kawaida yake, yeye huwa anapita hapa kila siku. But jana alijitahidi akaamua aende kwa nyumbani. Sasa wakati alipokuwa akienda ndio aliweza kukumbana na mauti yake.
And now we cross over to the coast, and still on a sad note, police are looking for relatives of a middle-aged woman, Alice Kagendo, who's 38-year-old from Kinduri in Meru North, Meru County, whose body was discovered by room house in Viemani area, Third World in Likoni. The woman, according to locals, had been working in one of the hotels at a ferry area. Likoni Sub-County Police Commander Jen Munyoki said that the preliminary reports indicate that the woman has been unwell for the last 1 year. However, a postmortem is to be conducted to identify the main cause of the death.
Jana asubuhi
tu tulikuwa tumeketi mahali, akasema tumbo imenishika, akasimama, ndio akaingia kwake kitandani. Ilikuwa ni hiyo jioni. Halafu baadaye ndio tukasema mbona amenyamaza sana. Ndio jirani mmoja akaenda, akasema bado tumbo inamuuma. Akasema wacha nilale tuamke tuangalie asubuhi. Ndio sasa asubuhi tunamuita haitiki.
Tukatoka ndani ya nyumba, amefariki. Tulijiuliza maswali mengi, kwani nini imemuua? Tukaona ni penikila ndio iko hapo chini. Wao majirani wakaenda paka Obinuka, wakaenda kaandikisha statement, mapolisi wakatuambia ferry haifanyi paka Monday, paka Tuesday. Tumekuja tukaangalia tena mwili asubuhi, tukapata iko sawa. Akaenda akapiga simu Inuka, ndio Inuka tena wakakuja mahali hapa, tukabeba mwili, tukaweza kumvalisha nguo jirani yetu Mwema, akachukuliwa na mapolisi.
And Murang'a County boss Mwangi Wairia has commissioned the biggest ICU center in Kenya with 5 beds in Murang'a Referral Hospital. The facility has been constructed within a record 19 days and fully equipped with ventilators. Zablon Macharia reports.
The newly commissioned facility is the biggest public ICU facility in the country with 35-bed capacity. The governor has assured residents of Murang'a County that they will not pay for the ICU facility in a bid-19.
Any patient who will get into this ICU during this period will not pay even a penny, so that we can make our contribution in the light manner.
Elsewhere, Murang'a Governor Mwangi Wairia has announced yet another mega project, the construction of 7-story building cancer hospital constructed in 5 months.
I want us to join us now that we are launching, so that we can collaborate in delivering the best and the very best for our people.
Religious leaders have supported the move, saying it will be of beneficial to the residents even after Corona.
ICU hii ambayo tuleo tunaibariki itaendelea kuwepo, itaendelea kuhudumia wananchi wa Murang'a.
Zablon Macharia, TV47, Nairobi.
Now, few days after the county government of Bungoma flagged off the second batch of food distribution to vulnerable families, an exercise that was spearheaded by the heads of secondary schools, Bungoma residents have faulted the exercise, citing favoritism.
The food that we have received, the maize, the beans, the sugar, and the cooking oil that we have received from the principals, first is going towards those who have been affected by the floods.
Kukashifu namna jinsi the county government is distributing to the vulnerable families. There is unfair distribution of food. When the government said people should stay at home, wajue kwamba wamama wale ambao walikuwa wanafanya biashara ndogo ndogo, they are at home and they should use properly the word admins.
Watu wamekuwa, haswa serikali ya kaunti ya Bungoma, wameweza kusema kwamba wanafanya mass production ya hizi face mask. Kile ambacho kwamba tunaomba, we have seen all over this county distributing this face mask. If you are producing the face mask, hakikisha kwamba pia zinafikia wale ambao kwamba hawajiwezi.
And now, heavy siltation at Chania River and Thika River as a result of heavy downpour upstream has interfered with water supply in Thika and its environs. According to Moses Kinya, the managing director of Thika Water and Sewerage Company, they are forced to close their water intakes after every 4 hours to remove accumulated silt.
Upstream there is a very heavy rain and it's bringing a lot of CO to our intakes, and we are forced to close the intakes once in a while for 3 or 4 hours to desilt, and even at our treatment works we are forced to also close at times to dislodge because there is heavy siltation and that causes a heavy build-up of sludge in our treatment units, such that we have to dislodge frequently, and our production has gone down by about say 5 million liters a day, which is a huge amount compared to the production that we produce, 39 million liters in a day.
Well, remember that Joash Onsari will be Yes, remember that Josh Onsari will be having a comprehensive report on the rains state right here in the country later on our subsequent bulletins. But crossing over to a different story, Kasipul constituency has received relief food and equipment used to prevent the spread of COVID-19 worth 3 million from the national government in collaboration with the CDF office. The constituency has been highly affected by the ongoing rains, which have left many homeless. The Kasipul Member of Parliament has urged the residents of that county to follow the guidelines released by the Ministry of Health so as to curb the spread of the coronavirus.
We want to appreciate the government of Kenya for releasing this batch of relief material that is coming to the starving, especially most vulnerable social groups within the community.
Using the chiefs, we are going to distribute the food to the locational and sub-locational level, so that they distribute the food to the most needy using their list.
Today, I'm so much delighted because the same items will serve the entire constituency well in mitigation of COVID-19. And these are very serious epidemic which we need to fight vigorously.
And from that story, News Deck takes a short breather and we'll be coming back with much more, so don't you go anywhere.
Quail, Q-U-A-I-L, quail.
Anorexia, A-N-O-R-E-X-I-A.
T-A-R-A-N-T-U-L-A, tarantula.
These are very unique times we find ourselves in as a nation. We have never been on this road before, but we believe that it provides us with a great opportunity as Kenyans, as a people, especially as a religious community, to help everybody look up to God. The things that are happening are not unusual and are not unknown to God, but it is how we respond to them that will make a difference. And so my call to each and every one of us is that instead of panicking, instead of passing on messages that bring discouragement, that bring despondency, that cause people to panic, that we should instead help each and every person to lift up their eyes to God, who alone is able to take care of this situation.
This May on TV47, we are giving you more reason to stay at home.
You are the chosen one.
Because I am your mother. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Same-sex attraction isn't completely gone because
my root is from God.
No, paid. Now let's see around you, Talipa.
We'll see some kind of like a smokish thing.
Hey man, don't forget about the monkeys.
Kama Saida, see you.
Boy,
where are we?
Right here on TV47, the home of untold stories.
and Newsdeck is back with more updates. It's important that you interact with us. We get to sample some of your comments as we proceed with the show. Hashtag, of course, Newsdeck TV47. That is on Twitter. And you can as well send in your messages on the numbers rolling down your screen. Now, let's cross over to a different story. And few days after farmers who supply their sugarcane to West Kenya sugarcane millers threatened to shut down their millers' grassroots offices. Of course, over mistreatment, the miller has now assured the farmers that their crop will be harvested as from this week. Mike Kagungu with the details.
In a press briefing after meeting with the farmers, the company's officer in charge on farmers' welfare, Jim Manzu, has stated that the farmers' grievances will be looked into, including timely harvesting of the crop and taking stern action against the staff that mistreat the farmers.
This we can sort it out by harvesting blockwise, so we can avoid delaying lifting also. Whatever harvested today, we are going to lift tomorrow in particular area. And I requested farmers, where farmers having matured cane in swampy, they also agreed to shift from field to road point. Thereby we can increase our lifting capacity.
Further, he also urged the farmers to report to the company any corrupt staff members for action.
Regarding fertilizer, we are programming. Because of this corona, it is a little bit delayed. Once started procuring, we will supply fertilizer without distinguish big farmer or small farmer or rich farmer or poor farmer. All farmers are required for West Kenya.
However, the farmers have threatened the millers' management that should they be neglected, they will dump the millers the same way they did to the now defunct Nzoia Sugar Company.
Na wakulima wa miwa ambao walikuwa wamelalamika kwamba miwa yao imechelewa sana kwa mashamba. Na mimi nashukuru shirika hili la West Kenya leo kwamba wamekubaliana na wakulima kwa kauli moja kwamba kutokea leo watakuwa na mpangilio mzuri ambao watakuwa wanafuna miwa ama kuharvest miwa kutoka sehemu zote, sublocation zote.
Watukatie, watubebea, wasipotubebea kwa hiyo masaa itakuwa mbaya. Tena watukumbuke sukari yetu, huwa tunakata na tupate hata sukari nguruwe. Watuite meeting watuambie kama kuna makosa, kama wako na shida huko watuambie, wasikulima tuelewe.
Mambo ya permit, walitupa permit Disemba mpaka wa leo tuchakata miwa. Alafu tukikata miwa inakaa wiki moja kwa shamba ndio wanapepa, lakini tunawashukuru leo mmekubaliana pamoja nasi. Na tumekubaliana msipotekeleza, tunakumbuka vile tuliwaalika hapa Wanzoia wakaenda pia, hata muda huo wote msipotekeleza pia nyinyi mtakuwa kwa safari ya kuenda.
Meanwhile, Ndivisi Ward MCA Martin Wanyonyi has called on irresponsible staff to drop the habit, adding that as leaders they are willing to fight for the farmers and their well-being.
Wale wafanyakazi ambao wamekuwa na kasheshi, wamekuwa na sarakasi, hao either wa change ama wachana na West Kenya waende watafute kazi kwingine.
Reporting for TV47 from Bungoma, I'm Mike Kagungu.
Now, Rwanda Utilities Regulatory Authority has announced a significant fall in fuel prices in Rwanda for both petrol and diesel. And joining us live from Kigali, Rwanda, Diana Iriza, our reporter, will update us on the new prices. Diana, to you.
Hi there, Linda. It is nice talking to you today. Now, this is the third day ever since the partial opening of the country was officially launched. Now, I'm here to give you a quick roundup on how the COVID-19 situation has positively impacted the prices of fuel here in the country. Now, it was announced this week by the government that there's a slight decrease of fuel prices, of fuel and diesel. According to the Rwanda Utility Regulatory Agency, a litre of petrol costs 180, down from 1,096 Rwandan francs. And a litre of diesel now costs 1,072 Rwandan francs, down from 1,091 Rwandan francs. Now, we expect this to highly positively impact the transport sector here in the countries, and also the food. We expect food prices to also lower down, since there will be easy transportation from different provinces and different countries, and food that is being imported to Rwanda. And we also have a number of 3,000 motorcycles that are not currently operating. We expect them to be operating by next week. So we expect these motorcycles to also benefit from this when it comes to transporting passengers and goods. So that's pretty much it, and we expect more positive impacts from the COVID-19 situation here in the country.
So much, Diana. Some good news for the people of Rwanda right there, and so much so also right here. And of course, it's time now that we say kwaheri, but most importantly remind you that you need not to worry, because we'll have more updates on our subsequent bulletins, where we'll have worked tirelessly to ensure that we update you on what is happening on the world of news, not just right here in the country, but across, of course, the African continent and all the way to the global fraternity. Thank you so much. It was great having you all from the time we started the bulletin up until now. We say kwaheri. My name is Linda Alela. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. News Deck ends right there.
Mtu akikuuliza mwambie nyumba yako haijificha.